Let's talk FPV. Flight path. So, it's windy here in Boston. What? That's very strange. Why is this not... What's today? 24th. No subscriptions found. Let's check iOS. I have it on auto renew, at least I thought. Anyways, subscriptions. Need to fix this real quick. iTunes and App Store. That says view Apple ID. So, anyways, flight path vector, right? Some guys use it. Some guys say they don't. It is found on many aircraft, particularly in the heads-up displays. Subscriptions. When did it try? Infinite Flight. Next billing date, June 5th. Yeah. That's weird. Is there a restore purchase? No. See what it says on my phone here. Can I get in on my phone? Let's just close that. We'll try it again. If not, I'll pop into my phone here. Connecting. Yeah, there we go. Valid till June 5th. That was weird. So, it's windy in Boston, so let's pop into Boston. The one thing I do miss is 320 at 22, gusting at 33. It is windy. So, let's see if we can just get on the ground here over at the JetBlue maintenance here. And plug in A320. Let's use that. My favorite bird. Try to pop in here, set the wind, and then I'm going to set up for an ILS approach or a visual, whatever, what have you. 325, 24. Okay, come out of there. Go now to solo mode and set up on 27. Right, so FPV landing. So we're gonna have quite a lot of drift here, or what's the word I'm looking for? Crab. Quite a lot of crab. You use the FPV, just aim it right on for the bricks on the runway. Kind of aim it for the numbers at first, the edge of the runway. Stay on glide slope. My allergies, I apologize. Give me a second, I gotta blow my nose. Alright, sorry about that. Anyways, the wind today in Boston is gnarly, and it's blowing all the pollen around. So my eyes are killing me, and my nose is doing its thing. So, hopefully the wind will carry over. It used to. The one thing I do miss, I love the new replay system. I wish we could release the simulator, at a certain point in the replay, like we used to be able to with the old solo replay. That would be my one thing that I would like to have back, is the ability to go, you could hit the button and go live right where you were. So I'm going to set up on the ILS, and then I'm just going to freeze it. Going to go ahead, pause, freeze. All right, so let's freeze that. I am over max landing weight. What do I got? Oh, I got full packs on that. So let's set it up JetBlue style. 150. That's good there. So we'll just go down to 140. We'll just say 144 for the landing weight. And I got to run some quick calculations on the wind. 325 at 22, gusting 24. I think it was gust 33, but it's the steady wind you want to get here. So I'm going to get a VAP number for 144,000 pounds on an A320. My handy dandy calculator here. Headwind components and all that good stuff. A320 at 144,000 pounds. Okay, 144. Runway is going to be 270 something. And wind direction is, what did they say, 320 at 22. So it's going to be quite an additive here. So our VREF is 136. So we want to touch down at 136 knots after bleeding off in the flare. Our VAP is going to be 146. So as soon as I release the sim here, I'm going to be looking for 146 knots. And then we want to bleed off that 10 in the flare, right? So in the round out and flare, we want to bleed off that 10 knots and have the wheels touch the ground, hopefully softly, at 136 knots. That's how that works. So in just a second here, I'll go ahead and release. Again, these Airbus chart numbers, I've posted them multiple times on the IFC and the IFFG. I also owe somebody a video on flying the Ocean 5 Star, which I will try to get to. I worked yesterday and I worked today, so I will try to get to it. If I can do it tonight, I'll do it tonight. So, let's release. We'll grab the cockpit view. Just get a recalibration here. Okay. So we're at 136, cockpit view. There we go. Gonna get that auto thrust on, Airbus style. Gonna carry a knot here. Right? And start heading down. So now the FPV, right? Watch where I try to put this. Right? And we are rocking and rolling here. So right about there is where I want it. Sometimes in gustier conditions, it's better to use manual thrust, but I find that the Airbus usually keeps up pretty well. When I fly the 737, which isn't very often, and see we're getting high on the approach 1,000. Here. Stabilized high by a half a dot. So right about there is where I want it. See this? I'm going to allow for a little bit of drift, right? I want to keep that right wing down a little bit in the crab. Bouncing around, no big deal. Bring it back to the right a little bit. Kick a little bit of rudder if I need to. Get that nose over.
500.
Stable at 500. Alright, still coming to the right. There she goes up to 30. Keeping it right around there, right?
300.
Now I'm trying to get that centered on the runway now. There we go, coming in. Dumping some trim. 100. Try to
50,
leave it there.
40,
30,
20, 10.
Kicking over. Dumping the wind. Ooh, too much. Going around. That was like one of those landings you see on YouTube. So I floated that one pretty hard. So let's restart here. Flaps 1,000 feet. I'm going to restart that flight and we'll just do a little replay of it. So let's see the replay. No, not logbook, replay. Hi Bobby, I see you chatting there. I don't really go back into omelet during these streams. Excuse me. So, quite a bit of set. What did I do there? Yes, this is mobile, yep. Don't know. Oh, that's probably when I paused the... Yep, there we go. That's probably when I had it paused. Okay, so here we are coming in. Right, good bit of set. See if we see the flight path vector. See where that is? That's where you want to have it. You want to have it like right there, right on the bricks. Maybe a touch lower, and you want to have it centered. Just like right there. Take a snapshot of that. Right? And allow for the wind to set you that way. Right? So let's come outside. Power off, kick in. I let off on the rudder. Right, let off on that rudder there. I'm kicking over. I'm trying to let the wind set me down. I didn't have it, so I went. So let's set that up again, right? Do ILS 2.7 or approach 2.7. Same thing, maybe I'll take the gusts out. The gusts are what really get you. So 146. It's weird, usually the Airbus will need some trim. I usually use about 25% trim. Right now it's only not needing that much. And I should have an up angle here. So it's 334, 22, customer 30. So my approach angle should be somewhere like 2.5 degrees. So I'm already getting a little bit high here on the approach.
1,000.
Stabilized. Just letting it bounce around for now. Just trying to keep the FPV on the numbers. Get it a little bit lower now. Now I'm barely touching the sim. It's just bouncing around down the glide here. Again, a little bit high on the approach. I'll let it come on down. Try to get it back on glide. I mean, we're still within. We're right over white here. There we go. Now I got it. A little pull out of that.
400.
I'd almost want to approach at 133 here. Don't want to get too low. That's a little pull by me. All right, she's bouncing around like crazy. Bouncing around like crazy. That's where I want it, right there. I want to get it a little bit over the center line, right in between the first set and the second set. Dump off the trim.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Power's off early. Striving for that center line. Right on the money. High speed to the right. That was gnarly. Yeah, I know. Coming outside's never the best thing in reverse thrust. It's just the way it is. I mean, look at where my headphones are. I think it takes the full power. I'm not really sure how it streams. So, let's go ahead and replay that. Take a look-see. Might have been a little bit long on that. Kicking out, kicking out, kicking out. Right? And that's okay. You can touch down there and then go for that center. So long as you roll for that center line. So let's watch the flight path vector here. Right? See? Right about there. Right? That's where you want your flight path vector to be, right? Dude, relax with the texting, Bobby. I understand. It's just the way it streams, right? So my ground speed was 134. I don't know what I touched down at. Unfortunately, the replay only gives you ground speed. It doesn't give you airspeed. So, let's see. Where did I wind up here? Right? I'm trying to... Right there, right? You want that flight path vector to be centered on the runway, right? Allow for a little drift, and you want it between here and here. You don't want these little wings to go past the white. Like, let me try to illustrate this with a screenshot. Okay, so that flight path vector, you don't want these green lines, right? The max that you want them to be is like there and like touching that, right? Touching the white bricks, if that makes sense, right? A better place to have it, if I erase, right? A better place to have it would be here. That's going to ensure that you're touching down on the brick there, right? But down the middle of the runway like that, with the center line, and the vertical part of it, right? The vertical part of it you want between here and here, right? That's where you want to put your flight path vector. Now, if you got the heavy wind, like in this case, pushing you this way, right? Your nose is going to be off center. We know that, right? So let's go pop outside for a second and we'll see where the nose is. So as you're coming down, right? Oh, yeah. Turn that down. See that kick out on the rudder? That's what you want to do. You want to kick right at the very end. Keep the wing low. When you sweep the rudder, right? Or when you kick that rudder left, the front wing's going to come forward, right? Front wing's going to come this way, and it's going to induce a little bank, so you got to try to keep that wing low. You keep that right wing low a little bit. So let's try a straight-on approach to 3-3 with that same wind and see what the difference is when it's coming right down the pike. I actually think, my personal thought is that it's more difficult when it's a gusting headwind than it is with a gusting crosswind. The headwind can push your nose one way or the other. The crosswind, you know where it's coming from. You know you have to lean and crab into it, and you know basically what you're going to get. So when you've got that headwind and it's gusting, you could have your nose set up to go slightly to the right, and then you catch a gust, and it catches the other side of your nose and pushes you the other way. So let's set that up for a landing. So we'll do 3-3 left now. I believe they're using 2-7 for takeoffs and landings at the moment, and 3-3 for departures and landings. Matter of fact, I see one coming off a 2-7 right now. You can hear it too. So, you can see where I drew my flight path vectors on my iPad. So this is going to change our VAP with the wind being dead on. So I'm going to just adjust for straight headwind. So runway direction is going to be 3-3. And we're still about 144. Wind directions 330. So now we want 148 and 136. So 148 knots is our VAP with the wind the way it is. And 136 on the way down. Alright, so right there. We're going to say 148, right? Turn this up so I can hear what's going on. Okay, I'm going to set my trim in here. Getting a little low. There we go. That's more stabilized. That's right about where you want it. Right about there. So this is right down the pike here. So I'm just kind of keeping the flight path vector kind of right on the runway, taking the gusts as they come. Doing a little bit of trimming here.
1,000.
See, it just pushed me off to the right there. So at 1,000, we're a touch high, right? Still well within limits. Got it back on there. Right, as I get closer here, I'm starting to position the
500.
flight path vector for where I want it on the runway.
400.
See that power coming in and out.
300.
If the auto thrust puts on a lot of power, your flight path vector is going to go flying higher than where you want it. It's going to go up the runway.
200.
Alright, so 200, we're in the box, we're a little bit low.
100.
Fighting it off, we're going to land long, I can tell that
50,
right off the
40,
rip.
30,
30,
20,
oh yeah, way long.
10,
That's a one wheel landing there. And I'm getting a phone call. Hey, what's up? Oh, you called them already? Or the card's all set? Okay. I have not. I got a text out to him. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Do you want me to take care of it now? Just, send me a picture of both sides of it, will you? Where are you gonna, how long are you gonna be? I'm going to work I'm leaving here at 1:30. Alright. Just text me when you swing by. Alright. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. Important phone call. So we definitely landed long on this. Yep, way long. I had the power in. Not a very good landing. I mean, we're on center line. And yep, one wing. The derotation was no meh. You know? So you got that gust and wind. So let's just try a straight headwind, right? I'll set it up for a straight headwind here. Go back in, fly. Oh, no, I did take off. Okay, let's see. I need landing 3-3 left. So I'm going to take the gust component out of this. And see what we can get. And of course I got a text message. Alright, so let's take the gust out of this. Alright. Still want 148. This is 22 knots straight down the pike. Alright, what you're going to see here as I go off, trying to send a text message. Never text while flying. So I need about 15% should do it. Right there.
$1,000.
Okay, stabilized at 1,000, a little bit high. 7.5. See where I'm putting that flight path vector? Could be even a little lower. Just try to get back on glide. The faster you go, the more vertical speed you'll need in a downward direction.
500.
Okay, we're stabilized on glide 5. Trim back up a little bit.
400.
Okay, start aiming. I really start working on the aim at 500 with the flight path vector.
300.
300. A little bit low.
200.
Right there. Don't want any more than that.
100.
Okay.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Gonna pull the power off
10.
the road. Touch. Oh, the flight assistant stopped working, so I don't know if that's a clock needed or not. Go back in. Probably gotta kill it and bring it back. There we go. Ready when you are, Captain. So let's get a replay on that. That was a long landing. But the focus is on the aim. No, that's the, oops, can delete that one. Replay here. Way long. Barely even saw it move. Right there. So let's see if we can see the vertical speed. Of course it's 0 there. Right. Oh. Looks like about 50. 76 to 110. Not half bad. So, that's how you can use the FPV. I have not, I mean, it's in an Airbus, it's in a Boeing, it's in heads-up displays. I say use it. Use what you got. It's the main tool we have in Infinite Flight to fly by. So, I hope the tutorial was helpful. Actually, I could try one more and do the crosswind on onto 2.7. Oh, that's online. Oops. Let's see. I'll do the crosswind on 2.7 once more. Okay, so I have in-flight assistant. This was 146, if I remember correctly. Remember, this is steady state, 22 knots cross. I've got my crab angle in, and I'll kick my crab angle out at the very end here. Don't have a real good calibration.
1,000.
1,000 stable. Back a little bit. Don't want to go too high. Stabilized at 5. Starting that aiming process. I'll keep the aim good. Moving my iPad around just
400.
a little bit. Don't want to get too low.
300. 200.
Bring it back across again. Okay.
100.
Stabilize it. Autopilot
50,
off.
40,
30,
30, 20,
It's hard.
10.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Down. Got the applause. I'm pretty sure it was a mock landing. So, real pilots that I've talked to, they pretty much say you have to aim a little low if you want to land right on the bricks. You have to aim low. There's no way to do it without aiming a touch low, but that's right where you want to be. So let's see how this looks. Did not like my D-crab. I was a little bit too far left. Yeah, see that wind's pushing me this way. So D-crabbing. Oh, that's not too bad. And then you want to give it at least a count of 1 1,000, 2 1,000 before you touch down on that nose wheel. So let's see what we get here. Okay, touch, 1 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So not half that, but a little bit long. So I hope that helps with the FPV. And stay tuned for further.